breakfast biscuits, and Now biscuits.
Public service report tabled in Parliament. Kumul Petroleum announces scholarship. And NAC to commence evictions. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Malcolm Waira. Thank you for joining us. Police officers were attacked in Bunu village along the North Coast Road in Sumkar district while trying to clear roadblocks set up by the villagers.
This has caused a tense standoff in Bunu, and public commuters remain stuck on both sides of the roadblock. The police at Talidig Station are calling for extra manpower support, including a chainsaw to clear the road. According to Acting Superintendent Robert Baim, the unrest erupted from the death of a man in the village who was shot by police following several serious crimes he was allegedly involved in. At the time of his funeral, the frustrated villagers blocked off the Bogia-Medeng highway and turned to police with homemade guns, stones and wire catapults. Police had to pull back and requested for backup. In the meantime, police are on the ground clearing the road so that essential services can resume. PPC Baim stated such actions are unlawful and police will not allow small groups to hold everyone else hostage. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
The ongoing roadblock and unrest in Bunu in the Medeng province will see offenders face serious penalties under the newly enacted Domestic Terrorism Act.
Medeng Provincial Police Commander Acting Superintendent Robert Baim stated the deliberate cutting of coconut trees to block the road between Matugar and Vara Market makes people feel unsafe and disrupts access to essential services. PPC Baim said no individual is above the law and police will not tolerate such reckless and criminal conduct. Acting Superintendent Baim alluded to the recently passed Domestic Terrorism Act that has full legal backing and allows them to respond to organized acts of violence and intimidation. The act includes offenses such as blocking roads, damaging infrastructure, threatening civilians, and obstructing access to services. Mr. Baim highlighted the penalties for domestic terrorism include 15 years to life imprisonment, asset forfeiture, and no bail for serious offenses. He said organizers and financiers of those acts can go to prosecution if they are not physically present at the scene. The Medeng Provincial Commander has urged the public and communities to refrain from initiating such violence and uphold the rule of law. He said it needs a collective effort and cooperation to restore peace and build a safer Medeng. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape confirmed this morning that he has given instructions for the functions of the Road Traffic Authority to be returned to the Motor Vehicle Insurance Limited.
Following complaints and concerns raised by the public on Road Traffic Authority's operations, Governor for Oro Province and Chairman for Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Reform and Service Delivery questioned if the Prime Minister is aware of this issue.
On a potential policy review, Minister, given the demonstrable failure of the RTA to deliver these essential services effectively, will your ministry commit to a review with the view to return these functions to the proven and efficient administration of the Motor Vehicle Insurance Limited? Could you carry out also a rate of return diagnostic of this organization to see how much it costs the Papua New Guinean citizen as opposed to how much it benefits us?
Prime Minister said instructions have been given that the functions of Road Traffic Authority will be returned to Motor Vehicle Insurance Limited.
So those instructions have been passed, but in the interest of responding satisfactorily to the series of questions raised, I will now ask, through this broadcast, ask the RTA and Chief Secretary's office to meet and to ensure that the functions that needs to go back, especially pertaining to vehicle registration, is restored back to MVL. And by the way, MVL never released those functions. It was assumed in the operation of law.
The Prime Minister said RTA's setup was intended to maintain roads, however, the ability for user pay is not strong. The government's effort to relook at all structures of government RTA is one body that is under strong consideration for merging, redundancy or make them serve better. Malinta Yopolo, National MTV News.
Eviction notices will be served to people settling on land owned by the National Airports Corporation starting next week. Minister for Civil Aviation, Wake Goi, announced this today in Parliament.
The member for Mosby Northeast raised questions regarding the development plans on National Airports Corporation owned land in Port Moresby.
I'd like to ask the Minister if we got any plan to extend this area under the development of aerodrome, or otherwise, if we can release the land to NCDC, we can accompany the settlement to SAWA program, because the land has been developed by the residents there. Through the arrangements with the landowner, customary landowners.
Minister for Civil Aviation in response said these lands are occupied illegally and eviction notices will be served to these settlers.
So all got the ground long country where 22 airports is down mitok nogat. Next week, by me issue sambla. Or I go out now police by start law. Rausim olketa. Na mibla like Banisim area. Even you've been live there for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, still by you lose him. You by vacate him.
Mr. Goi said land that belongs to NAC will remain its property, regardless of the development and number of years the occupant lived on. Malinta Yopolo, National MTV News.
National MTV News returns after the break with more of today's top stories. Stay tuned.
Chicken kebab saja nah. Yum.
Beef stir fry.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you,
Yum.
stir fry for you, and chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Serving for over 25 years, the International Training Institute, ITI, is one of the leading higher education institutes accredited by DHEST. We offer diploma in business management, business accounting, marketing management, small-medium business management, human capital management, information communication technology, and tourism and hospitality management courses. Download our application from our website and apply now for July intake. Orientation on the 16th of July. ITI, investing in quality and affordable education for your future.
From humble beginnings 30 years ago, Datec is now the largest communications technology solutions and services provider in PNG. We have intensified our solution and service offering with sound business practices and a strong affiliation with some of the largest technology providers in the world. Datec does not only strive towards supplying goods with total customer satisfaction, but we innovate and provide value-added services. Datec, innovative solutions, valued services.
Tonight on Sports Scene, we hear an update from Cricket PNG.
Looking forward to the 14 list, the players that will be announced to represent Papua New Guinea.
And we talk Santos Cup and PNG in the NRL. Sports Scene tonight at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. In a transformative partnership with the National Department of Education, Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited announced today that they will sponsor 30 of the country's 2025 STEM students.
This partnership is a 5-year support to the top 1% of all the students under the STEM program in the country.
We have partnered with the Education Department to sponsor the top 30 students that are finishing in the STEM program. That top 30 student, from the numbers that I got, is the top 1% of the students that are doing STEM program every year.
Pathways for excellence and global competitiveness in education will be created.
This is a very noble course we are taking. And the decision that you have made in your wisdom is going to go a long way. At this juncture too, I'd like to ask our other corporate entities, both private and public, to also support this program, because we are basically creating the capital for your own organization.
Malinta Yopolo, National MTV News.
The Speaker of National Parliament, Job Pomat, announced earlier this week that the new deputy opposition leader is the North Fly MP, James Donald.
In regards to the tussle between the deputy opposition post, the Speaker of Parliament today made the formal announcement that the member for North Fly, James Donald, is the new deputy opposition leader. While taking note of the letters he had received from the opposition team, Pomat said the two letters were contradicting in regards to the opposition leader post.
Me also bin elect top clear lo de parliament long. Election lo leader of opposition. Even got to pass. He come up lo me. One play come lo leader of opposition member of long. Kirwana good enough, Honorable Douglas Tumrasi. Now I'm la pass he come long, Honorable James Namane, member of lo Suave. Tubla letter sikanomi emi conflicting. Lo record lo word walikisim. So lo display the soul. And me now also say make him the look sabe also until such time all opposition only holding proper caucus meeting blongol nalgen makim nubla leader or only makim current leader of opposition is subject, and until such time me still look sabe long. Honorable Douglas Tumrasi, member of Long, Kiruna good enough for some opposition leader.
He said Douglas Tomoriesa is still the opposition leader until the opposition team sit together and come to an agreement.
As a child of the Northfly district, who spent 6 years of my early life, first 6 years of my life in Northfly district, I want to congratulate all of the Northfly, the highest office in the opposition.
Prime Minister James Marape congratulated the member for Northfly for his appointment. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
During question without notice in Parliament this week, Nawaeb MP Theo Pelgan asked the Minister for Works and Highways on a couple of roadworks in his district.
The member for Nawaeb, Theo Pelgan, also raised a question without notice to the Minister for Works and Highways in regards to some of the roadworks in the district that were promised by the department to support the people of Nawaeb.
The first phone call I made was to my mother. The reply I got from her was straight out, remember your people. Not congratulations. Remember your people.
Mr. Pelgan further called on the minister to get the work going.
Stand and mark. No stone, stand and mark. We can spend 800,000 kina on fixing a landslide, and yet the next day, it's class today. We appreciate the money coming from the government. We appreciate every money that comes from the government. But we need assistance, we need a commitment that was made to push mountains over. We can't go around mountains anymore. We have every kilometre we have a river. We have landslides on the coastal side and on the mountain side, everywhere.
Mr. Pelgan further elaborated on what he has been going through in the district.
On behalf of the people under the Dinga, I will take a kneel now. The minister, begging, please. I will talk now. Rules, Rugby.
The Minister for Works and Highways, Solan Mirisam, said due to changes, they are now prioritizing transnational highways and national highways through the Connect PNG program. However, Mr. Mirisam said they will look into these roadworks in the district.
So, here long Parliament together with the
Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Still in Parliament, a bill was passed today in Parliament to support persons living with disabilities around the country. The bill was passed after an absolute majority of 67 members of Parliament voting in favour.
During the bill presentation, the Minister for Department of Community Development, Youth and Religion, Jason Peters, said this bill represents 16% of this nation's population who are persons living with disabilities. He explained why the Maraperoso government initiated this bill.
Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability, CRPD, in 2013. As part of this convention, the state has an obligation to domesticate the UN CRPD in the context of PNG.
Minister Peters said the bill addresses issues affecting persons living with disabilities.
Equality of life, lifelong protection and social support system for people with disability by the government. Mr. Speaker, I would like to convey this to the people with disability population in our country. Your government have your best interest. Through the commencement of the bill, the DFCDR, in participating with DPLLGA, will market the objective of the bill at a subnational level and the other stakeholders.
He added that this bill aims to provide equal opportunities for persons living with disabilities in all sectors. Prime Minister James Marape, while supporting the bill, said this will be the first time this country will have a law for persons living with disabilities.
It's up to them so that they too live with dignity in the country they're born into. And I want to commend the Minister for your tireless work, and to all people of any form of disability in our country. On behalf of my own family, my wife Rachel, my children, and my people of Taripori and the country, all in all, want to say, in our 50th anniversary of our nationhood, this is a gift to people living with disability in our country, to protect you, to tell you the country loves you.
While commending the minister, Prime Minister said providing equal opportunities for all is a joyous moment. The bill was then passed with a total of 67 members of parliament showing their support. Samantha Solomon, National MTV News.
The Media Development Initiative held a media session today on the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. The session was aimed at enhancing public understanding on IMF's program in Papua New Guinea.
The media session was held at the ABC International Development Office in Port Moresby. Economics lecturer at the University of PNG, Bobby Kunda, made a presentation on the extended credit facility and extended fund facility arrangement with the IMF. This program was approved in 2023, and it provides financial support which aims to address balance of payment issues, especially on foreign exchange shortages. Mr. Kunda highlighted the key features of the IMF's extended fund and credit facility.
Within 5.5 years, the principal amount can be exempted, and only the interest is repaid for the first 5.5 years. Now, one of the key characteristics of the IMF arrangement is that it has strict structural benchmark, and you can imagine getting a loan which is a very short-term financing arrangement. You expect the reform agendas, and you also expect benchmarks to be very strict.
He highlighted key reforms and presented graphs showing PNG government's debt to GDP.
It's around $918 million, and at the current exchange rate, it's about 3.3 billion kina. Now, why this was taken out? So, before the loan was approved, there was a staff monitoring program done by the IMF, and the outcomes were satisfactory. Upon that, the IMF agreed to provide this arrangement for the PNG government to access this finance to push its homegrown reform agenda.
Journalists who participated in the program also had the opportunity to ask questions following the presentation. Pakatambua, National MTV News.
Now we take a look at the NASFUND market report. The kina closed lower at $0.2413 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2338, $0.3602 Australian dollars, 0.1968 euro, 34.60 Japanese yen. Looking at the commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copper closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFUND. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
The IPI Group is PNG's most innovative, dynamic and diverse logistics company, totally focused on delivering outstanding service. Our diversified divisions span from major warehousing, bulk fuel and road transport to large-scale commercial catering. The IPI Group of companies will be your partner, supplying tailor-made logistics solutions.
Soft and lovely hair growth cream. The new way to nourish your hungry hair. The first hair growth cream with natural origins. No silicone, overload of nutrients, and incredibly melted texture that is instantly absorbed by your hair. Available at Trends Essential Beauty Shop in Bryant Bell Plaza, Gordon's, and Eliseo Rainbow, Trends Salons, and all retail shops near you.
Planting nice plus smell, bubblegum, lemon, orange, pine, na lavender. Now, you got new was moringa. You got was soap, from family, from Mary, na from man. Panamex PNG. Proudly PNG made.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
MTV proudly wishes Papua New Guinea a happy 50th anniversary.
You're watching National MTV News. The Minister for Public Service and member for Noku, Joe Sungi, highlighted notable achievements by his department, one of which was the Public Servants Payroll Update.
In his report, Minister Sungi said for the year 2023 and 2024, the ministry was able to deal with public service housing matters, among others.
The NEC made a decision to transfer the government payroll function from finance to personnel management. In early 2025, a migration plan was developed consisting a changeover of functions and activities which includes staffing, resources, commercial undertakings, on infrastructure transfer and so on.
Minister Sungi mentioned that they have worked on upgrading the public servant payroll system functions.
See a much improved payroll with some savings expected to be made soon. Once all data is cleansed and payroll is improved at a level acceptable to the government, this function will eventually be delegated to the heads of agencies to take control of their own staff and personal emoluments. So there is.
Another notable milestone mentioned was the NID registration for public servants to have their NID numbers configured into the payroll system to have one person placed against one position. Prime Minister said a total of 1.5% of the country's population consume a total of 5 billion kina annually.
26 fortnight in a year. That amounts to a little over 5 billion kina. deducted against an annual allocation of 28 billion kina this year. That amounts to almost 1/4 of the national allocation.
While commending the faithful public servants in the country, he said there were over 3,000 plus public servants who passed the retirement age since he took office. These public servants were given their retirement pension recently.
Because state, making serious commitment, lo putting money, lo retiring more. You me holding more yet, lo payroll. And number one, they occupy those positions. Number two, they consume money every year. Number three, we've been unfair on them, holding them back against the retirement time.
Samantha Solomon, National MTV News.
The Chinese Foreign Affairs Office in Fujian Province is willing to come up with a memorandum of understandings with various Papua New Guinea government agencies. This is to promote culture, tourism and more people-to-people exchanges between the two countries.
Deputy Director General of the Foreign Affairs Office in Fujian, Chen Guoguan, announced this when he hosted a group of Papua New Guineans who visited Fujian province of China recently. Mr. Guoguan said that his office is willing to formulate strong cooperations, especially in culture, tourism and media sectors. He said the two countries have a lot in common, particularly with the Austronesian language, which originated in southern China before it spread to Southeast Asia and to PNG through migration thousands of years ago. Mr. Guoguan said interested agencies in PNG, such as the National Library, National Museum, National Cultural Commission, musicians, and others who are interested can reach out to them through the PNG Foreign Affairs. Pakatambua, National MTV News.
The National St. John Ambulance Services launched its first ever Weekend Warrior Ambulance Reservist program today in Port Moresby.
Under this new program, the National St. John officially welcomed 9 new volunteers today at the graduation ceremony held at the headquarters. Interim Chief Executive of St. John Ambulance explained the addition of reservists brings a boost and will assist to scale up during peak times to respond faster. Dr. Colivan told the new reservists that the responsibility they carry is highly valued.
While your service is voluntary, the responsibility you carry is profound. You will now be part of our emergency response strategy, helping us reach patients faster, supporting our crews, and ultimately help us in our mission to serve humanity and save more lives.
St. John's continues to equip participants with advanced first aid, basic life support, emergency driving skills, scene management, communication systems, and safe ambulance operation techniques. Director Clinical Systems Dr. Joe Nori said at the St. John Ambulance they provide quality service.
Every reservist is trained to provide first aid safely and properly, adhering to the highest standards. That is what we push for here at St. John's, for high quality emergency care.
One of the new reservists, Jeremy John, who works with Finance Corporation Limited, explained he is happy to be part of the Weekend Warrior program.
And through all of that, we've emerged stronger, more united. I didn't know these people until we came for the program. So coming out of the program, we are more united, more stronger, and deeply proud of what we represent and what we are going to represent in our communities.
Benson Wema, National MTV News.
Department of Primary Industry under the autonomous Bougainville government have signed a memorandum of agreement with the National Department of Agriculture and Livestock today. This is to allow for transfer of powers and functions from NDAL to ABG DPI.
CEO.
Speaking during the signing ceremony, NDAL Chief Secretary Dr. Segi Bang said there is a time to plant and a time to harvest, where Bougainville will harvest few years later of what they are planting today.
For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. So there is a time for birth and death. There's a time to plant and harvest. There's a time for killing and healing. There's a time for breaking down and building up. So indeed now, in agriculture that we should say, today is a time to plant the agriculture and the work of agriculture for prosperity for the people of Bougainville, and that we are planting, and that in the next few years they will harvest, and it will be bountiful, and that they will also prosper.
Dr. Bang said NDAL had signed a Memorandum of Understanding with ABGDPI in 2009, and now the Memorandum of Agreement. He added it is up to his department to complete the breakdown of transfer of powers to ABG.
It is now my department's task to complete the drawdown of the outstanding functions and powers, and with the technical assistance which we must give to the DPI of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville.
Alluding to the Memorandum of Agreement, Chief Secretary Kenneth Nanai said this transfer not only shows a transfer of power, but empowers the people of Bougainville.
Empowering the people of Bougainville to manage food security, to manage income employment within the agriculture space, to manage income opportunities, but also employment opportunities, and to provide that good, nutritious meal and food security to the people of Bougainville.
Mr. Nane said to see the difference in transfer of powers, there needs to be support from NDAL officials. He acknowledged that the autonomous Bougainville government needs institutional capacity, thus he called for collaboration.
So we don't have capacity. We didn't have capacity, and that's a challenge that we have on Bougainville. And that's why we need your support. We continue over the last 20 years, we built the Department of Agriculture, put in manpower in there. We were able to establish a Bougainville Commodity Authority Board to manage the powers and functions associated with Cocoa Board. We established, key statutory bodies and put in some manpower in there, but we still lack a lot of institutional capacity.
Jacinta Doctor, National MTV News.
In another milestone achievement today, the ABG Department of Primary Industry signed another memorandum of agreement with Papua New Guinea Cocoa Board.
Thank you.
The Memorandum of Understanding outlines that Bougainville can run its own cocoa business. PNG Cocoa Board Chief Executive Officer Jesse Angen said there are capacity issues in the MOA that the two parties want to capacitate.
There's some capacity issues which we have agreed and we have built into the MOA, where we would like to fully capacitate them so that they can run all the cocoa work in Bougainville by themselves.
Autonomous Bougainville Government Chief Secretary Kenneth Nanai said the Cocoa Board had done so much work in terms of the transfer of powers.
We were able to work with Cocoa Board, and we enacted the commodity legislation within the space of cocoa. And there's a lot of work that is happening in terms of building the institution. That is the BACRA, Bougainville Commodity Regulatory Authority body, yeah.
Also presenting the minister's speech was Dr. Segi Bang. Dr. Bang reads the transfer of power started in 2009 with today's MOA needing implementation of two activities.
The two major activities to be implemented after this MOA, number one, after the signing of this MOA, number one is the transfer of outstanding powers and functions, Autonomous Region of Bougainville, the DPI there needs, to empower the people of Bougainville, as we have heard rightly from the Chief Secretary. First. Secondly, the DL of Papua New Guinea will provide technical assistance and support in the areas of policy development and to establish agricultural data and information systems and the technical areas of crop, soils, production, processing and marketing and so on, and indeed the need for staff training.
He quoted that a budget of 1.3 million kina is needed to finalize the transfer of powers and functions from NDAL and PNG COCO board to ABGDPI next year.
So we need a budget of 1.3 million kina, and that in the remaining months of this year, from August to December, we will commence the implementation of the above activities, and in next year we must finalize all the transfers of the powers and functions, and continue the training as we move forward.
Jacinta Doctor, National MTV News.
National MTV News returns after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay tuned.
They're gold nuggets. There's a flavor for everyone. The best tasting snack. Get a burst of gold nuggets. Cheese flavor.
Mega wow.
Chicken flavor.
Mega wow.
Cheese onion flavor.
Mega wow.
Barbecue flavor. Mega wow.
When you're on the go, one more. One more.
Get that burst of gold nuggets flavor.
Mega wow.
Nationwide polio immunization campaign will be conducted in August and September 2025 to immunize all children under 10 years, even if they have received polio immunization previously. The campaign will also create an opportunity to provide free integrated health services for eligible children, including vitamin A supplement, deworming tablets, and routine immunization against vaccine-preventable diseases. The first round will be implemented in mainland PNG provinces and later in the NGI region. Polio immunization will be carried out in health facilities by outreach and mobile teams and schools in your communities. Parents, caregivers, and community leaders, including lower primary school teachers, are strongly advised to ensure all under 10 years old children are brought for polio immunization. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Immunize your child. Act now.
This is a message from the Department of Health of Papua New Guinea.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
MTV's Vocal Fusion Season 12. Last week, contestants performed to the theme Symphonic Rock. This week, they jazz things up with the theme Jazz. And we also get to reveal who makes it through to the top 7.
And you just took us all over the place. And that's what jazz is all about.
Join us this Sunday at 7:30. Only on your number one to watch, MTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Retired NRL star Justin Olam visited Port Moresby to back grassroots rugby league and the PNG NRL initiative with a strong message for youths.
The recently retired West Tigers centre and PNG Kumul's Justin Olam is in the country
attending PNG AFL and NRL's League Belong Live programs in Port Moresby. Speaking today, he noted his intentions of being in the country and what he is currently doing.
The NRL to see what's going on in grassroots rugby league here, because that's one thing that I'm passionate about, is building the grassroots rugby league in Papua New Guinea first, before everything else. And it's basically my time here is to see what's going on with Mark Morman on the team.
Olam says building pathways in PNG is crucial, and it is the foundation leading forward to the PNG NRL deal.
To build the foundation part of it, the building blocks for the talent, integrate the grassroots rugby league, which Momi and the team are doing right now at the moment, put more effort into that, give coaching and education to the volunteers, the local coaches, trainers. It's basically to give a fair opportunity to every young kid in Papua New Guinea.
He says he's passionate about giving back to the community.
What I stand for, which is all about rugby league and giving back to the community. I would love to give back. My time is done. It's time for the future generation to come up, and I would love to help in whatever way I can for the development of the game.
Olam remains committed to inspiring the next generation, believing rugby league can build both careers and character in PNG. Joel Mipari, Trukai Sports.
Exciting rugby league action continues this Saturday in round 16 of the PNG NRL Cup, with 6 big matchups scheduled.
This Saturday, rugby league fans across the country will be treated at thrilling clashes in round 16 of the PNG NRL Cup. The Kimbe Cutters will host the Moni Plus Port Moresby Vipers at the Peter Humphrey Oval in Kimbe. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Over in Lae, the Lae Snakes Tigers will meet the Mount Hagen Eagles at 1 p.m. at the Lae League ground. Later that afternoon, the Mendi Muruks will face the ENB Egma Gurias at the same venue at 3 p.m. In Goroka, the Goroka Binta Golahanis will take on the Croton Hela Wigmen at 2 p.m. at the National Sporting Institute. The Enga Mioks will meet the Central Dabaris at the Aipus Oval in Nawaeb, also at 2 p.m. Meanwhile, the Gulf Iso will battle the Wagi Tumbes at 3 p.m. at the Santos National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. Currently, the top 5 teams at the ladder after round 15 are the PRK Mendi Muruks, Lae Snakes Tigers, ENB Egma Gurias, Goroka Binta Gorlahanis, and Croton Hela Wigmen. Joel Mipari, Trukai Sports.
The Fairfax Volleyball Association is set for its thrilling major and minor semi-finals after an action-packed second semi-final weekend full of upsets and victories.
It was a blazing semi-final weekend for the Fairfax Volleyball Association as the teams battled for spots in this weekend's major and minor semi-finals. In the men's Premier Division, Falcons edged out Raukele 3-1. In Division 1, IBS Raukele, Buria Contenders and Hillside all end their way forward in tightly fought matches. The women's matches brought equal hit. Hillside narrowly beat Camix, while Raukele dominated Falcons in clean sweep. Under 21 saw Raukele and Buria Contenders advancing with strong wins. With the major and minor semi-finals this coming weekend, patron of the Fairfax Volleyball Association said they have added some fresh concepts, more competitive play and exciting formats across all divisions.
I am the patron of Fairfax Volleyball for this year. I have came in with new ideas to bring volleyball to another dimension.
He stated on rewarding every division champion with cash prizes and acknowledging each team's efforts.
Premier men, premier women, division women, division men, under 21. They'll be receiving 5,000 kina across the board as the major grand finalist prize.
Patron also added on planning a Legends Cup, honoring the greats of the game and inspiring the next generation.
Things like we will play for Kiladik, the founding father of Fairfax, Mr. Kiladik Cup.
With the major and minor semi-finals on the horizon, the Fairfax Volleyball Association promises a showdown to remember. Major semi-final winners advance to the grand final and minor semi-final winners play losers of the major semi-finals. Joel Mipari, Trukai Sports.
We'll be back with more of Trukai Sports. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports. Share the love with Gullah Ice Cream, Gullah Cone Ice Creams, Gullah Stick Ice Creams, and Gullah Classic Tub Ice Creams. Happiness begins with the Gullah range of fun flavors which create taste adventures and excitement with every bite. Treat yourself. Share with a friend while chilling. The whole family will enjoy. Everyone has their favorite. Which one is yours? Share the love with Gullah Ice Creams. Gullah, Gullah, yum.
Nationwide polio immunization campaign will be conducted in August and September 2025 to immunize all children under 10 years, even if they have received polio immunization previously. The campaign will also create an opportunity to provide free integrated health services for eligible children, including vitamin A supplement, deworming tablets, and routine immunization against vaccine-preventable diseases. The first round will be implemented in mainland PNG provinces and later in the NGI region. Polio immunization will be carried out in health facilities by outreach and mobile teams and schools in your communities. Parents, caregivers, and community leaders, including lower primary school teachers, are strongly advised to ensure all under 10 years old children are brought for polio immunization. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Immunize your child. Act now.
This is a message from the Department of Health of Papua New Guinea.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFUND. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Yes, there's negativity everywhere, but how can we change that perception?
Join us Monday night at 7 as we hold discussions with PNG Christian Professionals Network, Inc.
Core mission is positive influence and leadership and positive influence. And we connect with our network members. Okay, we inspire them through our different programs.
That's on Monday night.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Trukai Sports. The stage is set for Season 6 Grand Finals in the Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition this Sunday at the Taroma Aquatic Centre.
Battle lines are drawn for the Season 6 Grand Finals of the Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition. All ices will be on Court 1, where 3 Women's Division titles are up for grabs. In the Women's Division 2, New Sky Pacific goes head-to-head with NWTL 2. Women's Division 1 sees NWTL1 facing Department of Education. And in the Women's Premier Division, Kinabank takes on NCDC in what promises to be highly anticipated clash. Over on Court 2, the men's final dominate. In Men's Division 3, Elegant meets Sunif Thews, while in Men's Division 2, IRC 2 takes on the Department of Education. The top-tier men's Premier Final features a much-anticipated showdown between NCDC and POMGEN. On Court 3, it's a mixed bag. In Women's Division 3, DICT will challenge the Department of Mineral Policy and Geohazards Management. Men's Division 1 features National Finance versus CPL2, and in the mixed division, CPL faces off against the Department of Mineral and Geohazard Management. A thrilling day of volleyball awaits with pride, teamwork and championship titles on the line. Joel Mipari, Trukai Sports.
It's a massive weekend of footy ahead in the Colts Oval as the Money Plus Port Moresby AFL competition heats up.
The Money Plus Port Moresby AFL season continues this weekend. In the reserve grade, the Skyroos will face off against the West Eagles, while the Garou Bombers go head-to-head with the Uni Tigers. In the women's division, Skyroos take on the West Eagles and Kokofas battle the Garou Bombers. The senior men's clashes will see double-header, Skyroos versus West Eagles and Garou Bombers versus Uni Tigers. Sunday's actions include Koboni taking on Kokofas in the reserve division. In the seniors, the Swan Alavanas take on the Magpies. In the women's division, the Garou Magpies face Koboni in what is expected to be a close contest. And wrapping up the senior men's round, Koboni goes head-to-head with Kokofas in a must-watch showdown. Lamana Dogas have the weekend off on a bye. Joel Mipari, Trukai Sports.
That's all for Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Nationwide polio immunization campaign will be conducted in August and September 2025 to immunize all children under 10 years, even if they have received polio immunization previously. The campaign will also create an opportunity to provide free integrated health services for eligible children, including vitamin A supplement, deworming tablets, and routine immunization against vaccine-preventable diseases. The first round will be implemented in mainland PNG provinces and later in the NGI region. Polio immunization will be carried out in health facilities by outreach and mobile teams and schools in your communities. Parents, caregivers, and community leaders, including lower primary school teachers, are strongly advised to ensure all under 10 years old children are brought for polio immunization. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Immunize your child. Act now.
This is a message from the Department of Health of Papua New Guinea.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFUND. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Tonight on Sports Scene, we hear an update from Cricket PNG.
Looking forward to the 14 list, the players that will be announced to represent Papua New Guinea.
And we talk Santos Cup and PNG in the NRL. Sports Scene tonight at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
Dreaming from
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The MoneyPlus weather report for the next 24 hours. For the southern region, Port Moresby City, mostly fine, partly cloudy. Popondetta, partly cloudy.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that concludes the news, sports and weather for Thursday, the 31st of July 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.